Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup on Free FM 89.0. As always, I'm Grady Hooker, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey!
So we're going to start it off. We got Raw. We sort of agreed not much happened, but we'll still try and hit all the points. Braun Strowman, continuing to be a destructive force, and also getting Sami Zayn. Soon.
Yeah, next week will be a last man standing match, which is kind of weird for it to be a Raw match. It seems like that'd be something you would do on a pay-per-view. But they're definitely beginning to build Braun up beyond just the squashes.
Mm.
And I definitely believe we'll see at WrestleMania Roman versus Strowman.
Yep. With the stipulation of the last man standing, it is possible we see Braun Strowman's second loss, air quotes.
It's possible. It's entirely possible that this whole Strowman feud has been used just to build Sami Zayn into being a believable winner of the Royal Rumble match.
No, thank you. I'll take the other one. It seems as though at least it's a stipulation where Braun can still lose by a way that is not necessarily being knocked out for the count of 10, allowing for Zayn to pick up the win, Braun to get even angrier, and then still not much momentum on Braun's side being lost, because it's really hard to lose momentum when you're absolutely destroying half the Raw roster every single week.
Yeah, especially pointless matches like any match that deals with the Shining Stars.
Yeah, I'm fine with him interfering on those. Perfectly fine. But yeah, definitely Braun Roman seems to be the collision course, and I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Seen it for a while, pretty happy with the matchup. Honestly want Braun to pick up the win. But as we said, we don't know what titles and what the championship scene will be looking like by the time we get to WrestleMania. We're, 4 months away?
Yeah, I've heard a rumor of a triple threat for the Universal Championship.
You
Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor.
Oh, okay. My head's shaking a little bit.
I've also heard Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. So
I don't know. I
think it's possible, I suppose.
With the brand split, the Royal Rumble just adds so much extra storylines that you can pull off, and it's not even necessarily just setting them up in the Rumble with eliminations and everything. But, the whole winner could jump brands if they're going to keep that. You could have any number of crazy matchups.
Yeah, for all we know, The Undertaker might make his return in the Royal Rumble match and win it.
Yeah. I don't know what necessarily is going to happen here, but we'll see how it rolls out. Royal Rumble, honestly, my favorite pay-per-view of the year. So I'm really wanting to see the 30-man start filling out. Hopefully, I've always been disappointed lately in that they'd announce 26 people that are in the Rumble, and so you'd know the other 4 are surprises, and then there's no lottery or draw, they just come out at numbers. I feel like now that we've got the brand split, let's jump back a few years, and let's make Grady happy by doing a lottery and not announcing every single participant in the Rumble. But yeah, you did say something about Sami Zayn winning the Rumble. I'm firmly against it.
Just because it would end up being another Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match?
Yep.
But what if they included Finn Balor, the uncrowned champion?
I don't think that can redeem the match for me. I feel like Sami Owens has, at least with the WWE, I know it's been extended before that, has been done to all hell recently, and Finn has such a good redemption storyline there that Finn deserves his redemption storyline of his return, moving up and coming back and fighting for the title that he never technically lost because he got injured when he was... All of that to lead to a big singles crescendo at the end. Unless that's happening before the triple threat and then dodgy ending to that, and then... I don't know, I feel like that's such a straight laid out storyline that it needs to hit all the points, and I think a triple threat wouldn't do that. Then again, we've seen triple threats be great at WrestleMania before, so I'm not saying it can't be good. And then just before we move on to a different division, Jack Gallagher challenging Arya Daivari with a glove slap to a gentleman's duel.
Jack Gallagher has easily become the most entertaining thing in the Cruiserweight division. And he's not even been on the main roster for, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
But yeah, he had people rolling, especially when we were watching 205 Live last night with the actual, and I popped for him using the words besmirched and Colonel Mustard in the same promo.
Dude's great. Honestly, he's a tremendous talent, and it's not like it's just 100% the character as well, because he's got it in the ring.
He's definitely got he's got star written all over him.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to see what happens with the division. Hoping it can stay, rolling with its momentum.
Yeah, they still have work to do, but they're starting to get somewhere along the lines of getting characters built into the division and getting people to actually care. Yeah.
I think Jack Gallagher has a big step towards both of those goals. Huge character, and people immediately care because of the character.
And if they don't, it's some of the antics he does in the ring helps.
Yep.
Good old octopus ball.
You can never not laugh at that. Moving into another division of Raw, we got the women's division. Just a note that Emelina is still premiering soon. That's all the news we have on that. And then Nia Jax beating up Jobbers, Scarlett.
Yeah, a Ring of Honor female wrestler.
Yep.
Me.
It's clearly just to continue to build Nia Sasha.
Yeah, they had to sell that Sasha couldn't be there because of the beatdown that she got last week. So they had to do a filler with just having a random jobber come in to job to Nia.
Wearing a Sasha Banks shirt.
And then, yeah.
The symbolism. I'm imagining it just building. They're going to have a match. Something will happen. Very similar to a Braun Roman in a way that Nia needs the win to continue being the dominating big monster. Yet Sasha's been fairly winny of recent. Not Winnie the Pooh. Winning, but not Charlie Sheen. I'm going to move on. That way I don't continue to trip around my words.
No, because you keep losing.
Yeah. Only at pay-per-views. The Raw after pay-per-views. That's where the real money is. Charlotte Bayley also continuing on as a feud. Dana Brooke as special guest ref was the only reason Charlotte picks up the win.
Yeah. They're definitely building to giving Bayley her big moment, and it will be huge when she conquers Charlotte. Whether that's at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, it's going to happen. And when it happens, the fans will go, hopefully, will go nuts for it.
So we have 7 wacky-waving inflatable arm tube men then? Normally has 4. Damn, that's a bigger number. 6. A lot of them as a part of her celebration.
And confetti.
Lots
and
of
hugs.
confetti. Yeah.
Maybe Bayley Bears for everybody.
I definitely see Bayley. It would be ending the streak of Charlotte as well. The pay-per-view win. So it'll be an even bigger moment as well as the celebration, whether that happens later or on the night.
Just a moment. WWE, make Bayley Bears something you can buy on WWE Shop.
They will listen to this.
We want Bayley Bears.
You've completely thrown me off. So I'm just going to throw into the song American Alpha's entrance theme. You can probably guess why. If you can't, you will in about 3 minutes when we tell you. And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup on Free FM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So we're on the SmackDown side of the song now. American Alpha, brand new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, I had expected the White family to retain, but then there was a seed planted in the chat before the show began that made me question it, because when they came out with Randy Orton and Luke Harper as the defending tag team champions, that made me question whether they were going to retain or not. And then as the match went along, the story became obvious that American Alpha was going to overcome the odds and become the champions.
So I didn't watch SmackDown live. I was actually at a birthday barbecue at the point. But when my grandfather's phone went off as the alert and he read it out to everyone at the barbecue, like, hey, American Alpha are the new champs, everybody was shocked. So, like, not knowing the whole Luke Harper defending the titles and then watching it back later and seeing the build-up for American Alpha, it was such a shock to everyone there that the Wyatt family were no longer champions. I think most of us expected them to at least hold it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, they definitely begun to pull the trigger on blowing up the Wyatt family.
Or at least the Orton-Harper part.
Yeah, I expect that Royal Rumble will probably have a Harper-Orton match. And it's entirely possible the stipulation could be the loser is out of the family.
You could just shove them into the Royal Rumble match, where feuds thrive.
Well, you got to have the single match first, then have them in the Royal Rumble match.
True. I don't know, they got a very deep roster. They might go back to not having too many overlaps with the matches beforehand and the match itself. We'll see how it goes. Also wonder if... So, are Cruiserweights eligible to be in the Rumble match? Or are they...
Who knows?
I don't know here. It's a question I must know the answer to.
Well, they haven't had any cross-divisional matches yet, so I don't know. That's actually a good question.
The Cruiserweights could do some awesome stuff in that match.
But then that would take away from Kofi Kingston's gimmick.
Yeah, but I don't care. So we just have Jack Gallagher roll someone up into a ball, and then Braun Strowman pick up both of them and throw them both over as a basketball. Either way, I'm deviating. SmackDown. Are American Alpha gonna hold on to these titles for a little while?
I think so.
WrestleMania?
Because there's really nobody that's really ready to take them from them anytime soon.
I imagine the first feud they'll head into is Usos.
Probably.
Presuming the Harper-Orton tension drags them away from the tag team division for the time being. They'll probably get the obligatory rematch with Bray trying to hold them together. Who knows, maybe Bray takes Orton out of the match and puts Harper Wyatt in as the couple defending it.
But, you know, the biggest thing about that whole match was that it was Orton that took the fall.
Harper's been featured quite prominently recently. It's quite surprising. Surprising in a good way.
Yeah.
Make that
clear. And the Orton's position in the company, you wouldn't expect... I said just working with him made American Alpha look like $1 million and made them... It was going to be a great experience for them going forward. But actually, him taking the fall was, like, huge.
So it'd definitely be interesting to see how long American Alpha are going to hold on to the titles. Hopefully we see a long time title reign. It's not just a quick trade back. Z's. And then presumably head into a couple other feuds. Worst case, we've still got Ascension Vaudevillains floating around that they could jump into. Breezango, personal favorites.
Yeah, the fact... I could say one thing. Had that been Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, they wouldn't have won.
No. I don't know what the plan would have been, but they wouldn't have won.
No. I do think American Alpha was supposed to be the next champion. I think the injury to Zack Ryder sped that up.
Fair enough. Talking about champions, Alexa Bliss finally got some side plates.
About 2 hours before the event.
Does that mean she was always going to retain?
Once I found out she had side plates, I said she's retaining. Especially when I found out they were placed on the same day of the event. Because what would be the point in that?
That makes Grady happy. He said it enough, it came true. Though the way that she successfully defended her title was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, apparently she's double jointed in her arms. That was... That was creepy looking when her arm was out of place.
Yeah, I can't stand, like, seeing an arm. Seeing an arm like that, it was like, let me look away from the screen. But if I looked away for too long, I'd miss
the weekend off. I don't care if she is double jointed or not. That would be painful.
Yeah. I'd miss the all-important interference. Who's under the mask?
Yeah, I've heard rumors that it might be Tamina.
I've also heard that.
I really don't know. It may be just...
I'd
But
say-
I loved how Alexa played it off. I think it was Sasha Banks. It's clearly much too big to be Sasha Banks. Well, it must be Nia Jax. Like she went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah. See, I don't know what's gonna come of that. It's highly possible they used a body double, but I presume it's the person who's going to be debuting as well. We got Mickey on the horizon as well. SmackDown Live's women's division might just be getting that boost. That isn't the same 6 over and over and over. Then we're looking at the biggin, the WWE, whatever they're deciding to call the title this week, championship.
Yeah, they just went with that championship now.
AJ Styles retains against Corbin and Ziggler. Quite disappointing that Corbin didn't win. Full well knowing he wouldn't. And
But with the way they built him up in the match, you could actually see him as a legitimate challenger in the future.
yay.
He absolutely looked like he belonged there. And the way they protected him was amazing. By having him hit the finishing move that wins the match, but he doesn't get to win it.
Yeah. Baron Corbin's in my fave 5. He's gonna be big. Just we gotta wait for it. They already threw me a bone with Alexa Bliss. I can't.
Going forward, definitely important.
Of course, John Cena comes out. He's gonna be getting his title match just because he prances back in.
Yep, he even said so. I'm John Cena. I get a title match because I say so.
Yep, that's John
He
Cena.
said I can't do that.
That's John
There
Cena.
was definitely an edge to that promo.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to come of it, honestly. We've got so many things on the horizon in terms of Undertaker for both of these men. We've heard Undertaker Styles, we've heard Undertaker Cena. We've got WrestleMania on the horizon again for both of these men and for The Undertaker as well, and the WWE Championship. Who's to say it's in the hand of any of those 3 men?
Yeah, I think number 16 finally happens at Royal Rumble, and then The Undertaker returns and put his career on the line for one last shot at the world title.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think we have a career versus WWE Championship match.
So that would mean the winner of the Rumble goes for the Raw title.
Or Universal title.
Yeah, well, Raw title. Same thing. One of them's red. How long till we get a blue strap for the WWE Championship? It'll happen sooner or later.
Who knows?
And as well, next week we're going to be getting Goldberg. It's going to be up on Raw.
To respond to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman claims that they're going to destroy him during the Royal Rumble match.
If you don't see the rematch down the line, then I think you're blind.
Yeah, but the problem was having Goldberg go over him for building it.
Yeah.
Because that makes Goldberg 2-0. Why in the world would he then want to do a third?
Because he's Goldberg. Presumably, it's going to involve Brock Lesnar and Goldberg having an interaction in the Rumble match.
Q 2004?
No. I don't remember which one 4 is, but I've got a bad idea that I think I do.
2004 was the one right before their WrestleMania 20 match that there was both their final matches for the time being.
Yep.
That they took each other out in the Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
And then proceeded to brawl out of the arena.
I was having flashbacks to the wrong one. I was having flashbacks to 2005. We'll clear that up. Yeah, that's probably the most likely scenario for the interaction between these two, although I am much more looking forward to a potential. The two of them are brawling and Braun Strowman eliminates them both, just because I'm a big Braun Strowman fan. He's also on my fave 5.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Having a stare down between Corbin and Strowman would be nice during the Rumble as well.
It does.
They wouldn't have to touch, just have them stare down each other.
And then
the
promptly,
Monster SmackDown versus the Monster Raw.
And then promptly be hit in the back of the head by other people in the match to break the stare.
Yeah.
It's normally what happens to break a stare. The Royal Rumble is honestly like the haven for what can happen. there's just so many different things, you know. What's Kofi gonna do this year? Is the match gonna fill up with like 10 people in the ring at once? Are we gonna have a CM Punk-like scenario? Not saying he's returning, that don't be stupid. Where he eliminates people one by one and stays the sole man in the ring for a lot of the time. Is number 1 and number 2 gonna stick around for ages? Are we gonna have someone who's in there for 50, 60 minutes? Are we gonna have a Roman Reigns-like elimination of a huge number of people? So many options, so many different things. Or is Nia Jax gonna enter it?
Yeah, are we going to get a woman in the Royal Rumble match? Are we going to get a cruiserweight in the Royal Rumble match?
Honestly, I'm really interested in a cruiserweight in that match. I'll take any of them. Are we going to get an NXT debut?
I think we'll get at least one, and I think it'll become at number 10.
You couldn't be any more subtle, could you? You're clearly lining up for a Samoa Joe debut. So that's how he debuts, right? Ty Dillinger's music hits, and then it just, like, glitches out, and then Samoa Joe's music plays, and he comes out. Just start him off with nuclear
That would
heat.
be ultimate trolling. But yeah, I think Ty Dillinger will probably make his main roster debut at WrestleMania, at the Royal Rumble, at number 10.
No. The only thing
Because
is
it just makes too much sense.
that I absolutely love the countdowns for the Royal Rumble, where everybody in the crowd is counting down. And as we saw from the last NXT TakeOver, if Ty is in the match, they're just going to yell 10 all the time. And that will trigger me to all hell. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll find out when the Royal Rumble rolls around. You got like a couple more weeks of speculation floating around. But it's been great talking to you.
Yep, 4 weeks to your favorite event.
Looking forward to it. You can visit our first page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio. See you next week.